What's going on, everybody? Stock Jock here, up $1,142 today. Not the first hour. I was up. Oh, geez, where did my screen go? I was up. Here's the total. Sorry that I have to minimize my screen to get to show it up. I don't know why E-Trade doesn't have a pop-out window for me able to use, but there it is. $1,142 in trading today. It wasn't the first hour. First hour, I think I was up just over 600, and I just made a trade here a few minutes ago to kind of finish my day out. We'll go over the trades. There is no live recording today. I actually woke up late, and you could see my first trade came in at 10:35 today. So I missed the entire first hour, which is a massive shame because I was so excited to trade Tesla today because of this candle over candle, going for all-time high break. I mean, you could look at this thing, right? Going for this break of all-time highs, it would have been just absolutely beautiful. Plenty of room up to the 450 level for sure. Maybe if we got lucky up to the upper Bollinger Band on the daily chart. And of all the days to not set your alarm. Because you can see, it did the typical Tesla thing. Rip out of the gates and then sideways basically the rest of the day. So I missed this move, and I definitely would have been in it. I probably would have played the red to green. I probably would have gone long right here at 440. Taken half. What is this, a 1 minute chart? Taken half just on a pop. Horizontal resistance would have been right here. I would probably taken half, and then just ride it until we got like a 1 minute candle under candle, potentially there, or just let it ride out for 450. You know, that's probably would have been the goal. Definitely thought that would have been pretty obtainable today. Anyway, didn't do any of that. So let's get into the trades. Again, sorry that there will not be any live trades of this, so we're just going, it's a summary today. I wasn't able to record. So the first trade I took at 10:35 was right here on BASI, B-A-S-I. This one, chat rooms are starting to take note of, started to hit the high day momentum scanner, I believe. Where are we at? Right here. This is the spike. The thing that we all liked was, if you look at the daily chart, it had like a daily breakout set up right here. All-time highs set way back here. Sideways consolidation, and now we're breaking out of that today. So we were just looking for, you know, the break. You can see the high right here, the break of 543 from this day back in November 5th. Break of that, and then you've got sky's the limit, right? So we're all sitting here looking at that. I go long at 10:35 right into this candle, and I picked it up a little earlier than most people. And I was willing to take it because I saw, all right, well, if that level breaks, I want to be long in it. The thing that you won't see is on the level 2 here, there was a wall at 540. I took 4,000 shares, basically 539, but there was a hidden seller at 540. You know, the stock was up there at the time, and he just wasn't moving. And finally, he did move. We got a pop. I sold into the pop as soon as I could. I sold half at 552 for about, $240 win, and sold the other half, basically break even. And the reason why I wasn't just willing to let this run is because the other low floaters say if they got to key levels, they would pop and then just immediately sell off. It wasn't a day conducive to running, and it was the right move because, again, here's a stock that has a daily breakout, all-time highs, ready to go, breaks the level, and then immediately completely rejects it and then has been down ever since. Like, that's a dollar move since then. Like, it opened today at 520. Where is it at right now? 480. So it went to all-time highs and then sold off hard. Complete rejection. So anyway, that was the first trade. The second trade was on AKER. This is another former runner. Hit my low float momentum scanner. I got it in, where was it? 10:53. So probably in here. Yep. Okay. So AKER hits my scanners. A lot of probably everybody else's scanners as well. What do we see when it pulls up? Tight Bollinger Bands here, real tight on the daily chart. So big move is probably coming, up or down. We see a gap fill potential from 360 up to 550. Nice range. I go long when I see that 352 is going to break. I go long 352. Immediately pops up. I sell half for $40. No, I'm sorry. Sold half for $120 and immediately rejects that level again. Sold at the other half for a loss of $120. So break even on this trade, didn't do anything. And again, you got to remember how are low floats in general trading, and they typically all trade the same. If one is running, most of them run. If they've been just popping and dropping, most of them are popping and dropping, and you got to change your trading style accordingly. In this case, just like we saw on BASI, BASI, when it got to that breakout, pop and drop hard, right? Pop and then give it back and then some. AKER does the exact same thing, right? Gets to a key level, breaks it, complete sell-off, right? So the next low floater that hits my scanner that gets to these levels, what do you think? How do you think I'm going to trade it? Absolutely. I might play it, but I'm immediately selling it, and that drop could be right around the corner, and I don't want to be stuck in it. Another way to do it is just avoid them in general, right? If you're getting in long for a 360 break and you're going to lose 30 cents if you don't get out fast enough, why even trade them, right? Go play large caps. Anyway, all right. So then my next play was on Tesla, TSLA, and again I was kind of pissed that I didn't get to play this today at the open. So, okay, there's a few levels on Tesla that I was watching. The first one was something like this. All right, get 2 peaks. I also made kind of like, it's almost like a bear flag, honestly. At the time, I was watching it kind of like this, right? E-Trade, your charts are terrible. Okay, so kind of like this. When was the trade at? 11 o'clock? Let's get to 11 o'clock. And as I watch Tesla right now not fall off the face of the earth, but definitely going down. Price currently is at 446. Okay, so 1101. So we're right here. What? Is that right? Okay, so it was kind of a 5-minute play, and you look at the 5-minute chart here. I'm just trying to remember the play here since I don't have a recording of it. So you've got this, and I could draw it on this chart too. It'd probably be helpful. Kind of like a setup like this, I believe, something like that, where it did break to the top side of this resistance level, but then it kind of failed it and came back in. Let's see, 1105. What I was thinking here is, it popped, pull back, and then you got 5-minute candle over candle, but it ended up being a bearish candle, right? So I was thinking, okay, 5-minute candle under candle is the way to play it. Let's see. It kind of juked me out, it looks like. It juked me out the first time. I'm trying to find the 1 minute here. Okay, so yeah, I thought this 1 minute would lead to the 5-minute candle under candle. Instead, it came right back up, gave a 1 minute spike right up to this resistance line that stopped me out. So I went short and I lost 13 cents. So I lost $260 on this trade. Then it rejected that level, came back down hard. Okay, and then it gave me the 5-minute candle under candle that I was looking for. And it was there that, let's see, 1105, so right there. This is probably the 5-minute candle and a candle. Broke that. I went short. Sold half on the way down, just a few seconds later, a minute later, for a $120 win, and then sold the rest a few minutes later down here. Yeah, that's right. Sold the rest down here at this bottom support line that I drew earlier. Yes, it cracked it, but this is generally probably going to hold the first attempt at touching it, and sold the rest for at 422 from 336. So that's a $620 win on the second lot. So $120 win on the first lot, $160 win on the second lot. Or sorry, 600. Oh my gosh, my brain. Was it 62? So $620 win on the second lot. So nice win there, right? Puts me back green on the day. Then I take one more trade on Tesla, and that was here at 12:10, and I think I redrew it. Yep. So I took these off, and I had a little bit of this is kind of a short-term play, right? Just taking some short-term angles, and at the time it kind of looked at it. Still using this bottom trend line, and now we're using kind of these peaks, and it does kind of extend up to here. I mean, kind of from the morning. But definitely these two peaks were in play, and definitely these 4 bottoms were in play. And it got real tight right in here. And this is kind of an implied move of, if you take the middle of this thing and you go from top to bottom, this is 445 to like this is like a $5 move. So whenever this breaks, you can kind of guess that if it breaks to the downside, it's going to be a $5 move to the downside at least. That's how I get my price targets. If it breaks to the upside, it's a $5 move to the upside. In this case, it kind of looked, especially on the 5-minute, if we can draw the same thing on the, we probably can. Let's draw it on the 5-minute chart here. Something, is that it? That's not it. All right, well, it looks better on the 1. I'm not going to mess around with this. So anyway, it starts bouncing around here. Bollinger Bands are getting tight. You can see these pink lines. Bollinger Bands are tight. Test. Rejected it, and we're getting close to the apex point of this thing. So more than likely, if it doesn't break out here, it's going to break out there, and that's exactly what it does. I go short. This time I take out of the money puts. In case I'm wrong, because I think it's still going to be an explosive move, but if I'm wrong, I don't want to get burned too bad. So I take out of the money puts. I buy 20 of them at 78 cents. The 445s for 78 cents. What's the time that I took it? 12:10. So right here, what I was kind of watching, I think this lined up with a 5-minute play. Yeah, okay, so here it is. So on the 5-minute, you kind of see pop, pull back, candle over candle, doesn't do anything. This candle setting up like a shooting star, 5-minute candle under candle. So it had a 5-minute setup to the downside. Since the 5-minute to the upside didn't work, the next natural play is a 5-minute to the downside. You also had that lining up perfectly, timing-wise, with the break of this support line here that goes all the way back, intraday support line. So if that broke, a bigger move is coming. So I go short 20 contracts, 78 cents. It does give it up. Then we're looking at horizontals at that point. So, a natural horizontal support line would be, let's change the color just to make it a little easier. We'll go blue. So here's a little intraday support line. Here's a little intraday support line down there. This is the VWAP. Don't confuse this one right here. So we got 2 little support lines. We break this one. When did I start covering? 12:14. So right here. We broke that one, and I was kind of watching it. I knew this would be broke. This is the first chance for it to bounce. It did not bounce. It broke that. My second area that it could bounce was right here, and that's what I ended up covering. I covered here, and it started to bounce, and I covered the rest. So I covered the first lot at 105 for, what is that? 27-cent win, so $270, and then the rest was at 98 cents for a $200 win, 20 cents. So a nice trade. It did end up bouncing. It tested this horizontal line as resistance. It held, came back down, broke this level, and then down to VWAP, broke VWAP, tested VWAP, and now it's heading back down. This is looking bearish, so I might try this again. But that's how I got to $1,142. Again, if you are new to trading, please come into my free trading chat room. It's the Discord link in the description down below. Please come in. We're here to help. I post or call out my trades in chat. We have a lot of traders in here that are helpful, experienced traders, new traders. There's no dumb questions. You will not be judged. You will not be freaking ridiculed if you make a trade against the room. And we're adults here. It's not amateur hour over here. Please come in. Other than that, I will see you guys Monday. Have a good weekend.